Who knew I would be less productive in my luteal? Who knew that you got to wait till follicular when you're ovulating? That's when you're going to be the most productive. That's when you're going to have so much effing energy to do videos just like this. It's downhill from here, okay? It's downhill from this moment.
It's actually not when you cycle sync. So that's
True.
The whole point. Let's back it up.
Rewind.
Let's back it up. There's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot.
We're going to go through what is cycle syncing, why it's really important for women and people that have periods in our society to sync with their cycle. Bless you.
Bless up.
And we're going to be talking about the 4 phases of your cycle and like some ideas about how to capitalize on the energy or lack thereof that you're experiencing and what's moving through your body. So we're going to keep it super basic so that it's really simple and clear to understand, because I remember when I was just learning about this stuff like a couple of years ago, I was like dabbling, and now I'm more in it. It was kind of a lot.
It was
first.
Overwhelming.
Yeah,
it was
it's
overwhelming.
It's a little overwhelming because it's like, I didn't even know any of this. Like, they didn't teach us this in sex ed. They taught us abstinence.
You're right. Who listened to that?
I have a lot of respect. I know it doesn't seem like it because we're
like
laughing.
Respect. So, back to cycle syncing. Baby, what is it?
Okay, so cycle syncing is basically a woman or a person with a period. They have different cycles. They have 4 different cycles that they go through within the month. And you sort of like listen to your inner world, the inner seasons going on, which we'll go over, which consist of the 4 different phases. You listen to that internal world and move through your external world with consideration to what sort of cycle, what sort of phase you happen to be in.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
If you're with me,
say you're with us in the comments.
We are synced and we are synced.
So, society, like I was saying, is built around men. So, it gives this illusion that, like, every day has to be the same. You know, you clock in, you drive to work. Well, actually, you drive to work, you clock in, you clickety-clack your keyboard, and you drive home. And it's the same every day. Like, and that's not real.
Right.
It's not real.
Right. So, it is really behoove you, if you have a period, to naturally sync your world around you to your inner world, because you will feel more in tune with yourself. You'll feel so much more powerful. Your period won't be like, this is so wild.
So I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh my God, I have to track all of this myself and like write down with the pen on a calendar and like keep up with my cycle. No, there is an app, and we happen to use Stardust. Sponsor us, but Stardust, it gives you these like cute little messages. It tells you exactly what phase you're in, how many days away you are from the next phase.
So we find it very helpful to use this app as a way to like track everything, and it's fairly accurate. Like now that we've started to do it, I can see like when I have more energy, when I'm more tired, and like it's totally syncing with the inner seasons of my body. So we're gonna get into the 4 seasons of your body. What is the first season that we're talking about, Jessy?
Your first phase comes right after your period, and it is called the follicular, also known as your inner spring. So this is when you're gonna have like, you're gonna be bursting at the seams with energy. You're gonna feel super creative, inspired, high energy. Like, yeah, you're like waking up 5 a.m., you're sprinting, you're doing all this stuff. You're coming up with new ideas. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
You're crushing it. And you don't even feel tired. You're like, yeah, I can do this.
This is also when you're maybe noticing that your appetite is somewhat lower. And you can like watch it build. I forget how long the follicular phase is. I think it's like 7 days. Don't quote me. But
That sounds
right after your period, you're kind of like still, ugh. Well, and everyone's different, right? Like we're going to say our own experiences, but like your body could be totally different, and that's beautiful and perfect, and like listen to your own body. But just coming off of my period, I'm still kind of feeling tired, but as the follicular phase moves on, I'm getting more and more energy, and like then you can adjust your workout schedule. If you work out, if you move your body, you can adjust that to like whatever phase you're in. So follicular phase is a great phase to do like high intensity stuff, to lift, to do like more cardio because you have more energy to burn. Like obviously tune into your body. If you're feeling like low impact is better during that phase, then do that. Then we move into ovulation. And ovulation is like inner summer. So get this. This is so crazy. And there have been studies on this. So women that, they've done studies that like women that are ovulating, they get hit on more so in a bar because they are physically more attractive. So this is what happens. This is why. Because your body will literally become more symmetrical and you'll look like curvier, like more, and this is all like for like evolution, like biological purposes, like whatever, that's a whole different conversation, but like your body will, your physiology will change, and you're glowing. So ovulation is also when you're feeling like super productive, when you're feeling super social. So like go ahead and make those plans to be a little bit more extroverted because your cycle, your body is supporting you during this time. So if you have more like flexibility and say so in your work schedule too, like we do, you can like plan out your tasks as it relates to what phase you're in. So something that we're trying actually, but we're not kind of doing it right now. But you know, it's whatever. Something that we're doing lately is we are, when we're ovulating and when we're in the follicular phase, we're coming up with like way more ideas. We're being super like creative, and we're like getting in front of the camera more because we're feeling like, you guys can tell, like we're super goofy right now. We're being like more extroverted. We're not ovulating, but we're in the first half of our of our luteal, and so we'll move into that next.
The luteal. You've heard me mention this in a couple other videos if you're not new here. And the luteal phase is your inner autumn. So you're going to be feeling that energy that you are riding high is going to start to decline. Things are going to feel more like a drag. Things are going to be slower. I feel like, me personally, that's when my appetite kind of ramps up. And it's a time to, I have learned that, you know, things might feel like a drag, but I also think it's your body signaling to you, okay, it's time to slow down, because you went through those other phases. You went through your follicular, your inner spring. You went through your ovulation. You were like super high energy. You were creative and putting yourself out there, high energy, boom, boom, boom. Now it's time to settle. Now it's time to integrate all that. Now it's time to just ease up on your schedule,
especially towards the end of the luteal. This is when you need more hydration, water. Just mentioned like her appetite increases. You're probably gonna need some more, or want like notice that you have more cravings, more like I'm more likely to snack now. I know that I'm like eating more every so often in this luteal phase. The other thing that I wanted to mention is like with your work. So this is like a phase where you're kind of like, and this is what I noticed yesterday, I'm more attentive to details and like so much more focused on like the little things, and like kind of going slow with that and kind of doing like the tedious like computer work, sort of say.
right?
This is when Jess is editing a lot and it becomes like super easy to her. It's not to say that like you can't work and oh my god your life has to totally stop. It's like no, but like do something more like that fits this part of your cycle. So whatever that is to you, maybe you're like inputting like data in a computer. I don't know. I didn't work a corporate job, but like that sounds like maybe something that you could do in the luteal phase. The menstrual phase is the fourth phase. So this is when you're bleeding. You're in a winter. So think about winter. You're slowing down. You're chilling. You're resting. You are going within, you're doing self-reflection. I just learned this, but during your menstrual phase, your right and left hemisphere of your brain are communicating at like most optimal performance. So this is like really a time to like get centered and to like trust yourself and your intuition. It's really, really powerful. So something that I noticed too, because we didn't really talk about PMS, but that happens in the luteal phase. That happens before your period. It can happen. When we were doing our no sugar detox, I noticed that I did not have PMS symptoms. I did not get like as irritated as normally during the luteal phase, and during my period I didn't have any cramps. And usually I have a little bit. They're pretty mild. I feel like I'm pretty fortunate. So ingesting like food is super important and to be mindful, and you can like look that stuff up. Like so easy to look up different types of foods and recipes, even ask your AI like what kinds of foods and recipes are supporting you during each phase.
So wherever, whenever you're watching this video, let us know in the comments what phase you're in. Or if this is your first time ever hearing about cycle syncing, or if you even knew that there were 4 phases within your cycle. So if you like this video, make sure that you like it, hit that subscribe button, and as always,
take what you need, leave the rest, and go love yourself.